Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? I hope having a good week so far. So today is Monday, 4th of January 2016. Hope everybody had a really good holiday season, Christmas and New Year and all that. Okay, so this is the usual getting back into the updates of everything related TV and movie stuff for us geeks out there. So I'm just going to dive right in. First of all, I've already been to see Star Wars The Force Awakens twice and enjoyed it on both occasions. The film has now made over $1.5 billion in 19 days, which is amazing. It's the fastest that a film has ever reached that number, ever. And Star Wars has pretty much broken every single record there is so far. Whether it's going to hit 2 billion, well, it will hit 2 billion is what we're saying. But if it's going to get anywhere near what Avatar has done, remains to be seen, but so far signs are showing that it's going to hit 2 billion probably in a week or two, maybe. Who knows, it could even hit 2 billion by the end of this week. It's proven that popular. Obviously later on this year, now that we're in 2016, we've got a plethora of movies coming out, and we can now finally say that we can now say at last Batman v Superman is out this year, as is Suicide Squad. In fact, we're 80 days away from Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. And just to quickly do a side note about that, myself, I will be holding a competition, okay, starting on February the 4th, okay? And why February the 4th? Because from that date, it's going to be 50 days until Batman v Superman. I'm not going to explain everything now, but watch the video on February the 4th. Competition starts on that day, and I'll give you all the info and everything that you need to know and what's going to happen. Okay, look out for that video. So yeah, we haven't had any new trailers from Batman v Superman. I know there's been a couple of TV spots already out there available. I'm keeping away from TV spots. We're obviously going to get one more trailer, I would imagine, probably next month, with it being February next month. And then obviously after that, the hype train is just going to go ballistic. It's going to be mad with featurettes, clips, TV spots, all the usual stuff. Everything's going to explode, as it did with Man of Steel as well 3 years ago. Deadpool is out next month. I think in the UK we're getting it on the 4th of February. I know in America it's going to be out on the 12th of February, so if you're going out for Valentine's weekend, that's the perfect movie to take your other half to go and see, isn't it? But yeah, so I think we are getting it February the 4th over here. Still waiting for tickets to be released for Batman v Superman. Interestingly enough, in 2013, about April, they released the tickets for Man of Steel. I'm kind of expecting something similar with Batman v Superman, so maybe in the next couple of weeks we may get tickets released for Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. I'm not saying that we will, but there's a likely possibility that we will, just going on what happened with Man of Steel 3 years ago. Marvel, they're still moving along with all their movies. Obviously Civil War, Captain America Civil War's out in May this year. We're getting it in April, back end of April, and obviously I've already mentioned Deadpool, even though that's more Fox. But yeah, so Captain America Civil War, and then we've also seen the first picture of Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, and that's out in November. There's just so many films coming out this year. Independence Day Resurgence, I've seen the trailer for that. Happy that that's coming back 20 years later. I can't wait to see how that one pans out. I'm really looking forward to that. A little bit of a trivia for you. Independence Day is not only my favourite film of all time, it is my most watched film ever. I've watched it well over 2,000 times now. So, yeah, I know. Surprise, surprise, everybody. Everyone's expecting for me to have something like Superman the movie or Man of Steel to be my most watched film of all time. No. It is actually Independence Day. Because when that film first came out, I was so hyped about it. When it eventually came out on VHS, on video, and then DVD, I watched it as many times as I could. Doesn't matter if I watched it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or at 3 o'clock in the morning. I watched that film as many times as I could. I know that's pretty sad and boring, but you know what? it's what we do. So, but yeah, it is my most watched movie ever. So there you go. So yeah, Resurgence, as I've mentioned. Also mentioned, obviously, Deadpool. X-Men Apocalypse is moving forward as well. We've been seeing a lot of trailers of that one. In fact, no, I say we've seen a lot of trailers. We've seen the first trailer for the film. Only came out like last month. Deadpool had a new trailer on Christmas Day. Smashing, looking good. Let's see what else. There's just so much that was coming out. I just want to quickly say something about Ghostbusters. Now, it's good that they're doing a new movie, but I'm not feeling the hype, if you know what I mean. Because I watched the original versions over Christmas, and I liked them. I love them so much that they just should be untouchable. Now, I'm sure whatever Paul Feig is doing with this new Ghostbusters, he's got something planned. Whether or not it's going to continue on and garner sequels from it remains to be seen. But it's nothing to do with the cast or anything. It's just the premise. It's just the concept. Just the fact that we're getting a new Ghostbusters movie. And I'm just like, okay. Yeah, I'm not feeling the hype, if you know what I mean. So, anyway, put that one aside. Assassin's Creed with Michael Fassbender. That's coming out later on this year. I think about November time as well. Just want to say a bit more regarding Batman v Superman. There's now a boatload of merchandise now available. Pre-order to go on them various websites. If you know where to look, if you find them, just go out there and look for them because they're everywhere now. I've ordered a few things myself. There's a couple of collectible statues I want to get as well, particularly of Superman, Batman, and also Wonder Woman. So I've got my eyes on them. I'm hoping to get them very soon when they do become available. I know on Sideshow collectibles sites you can now pre-order like the Hot Toys Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice stuff, particularly Batman and Superman. If you pre-order them both together, you get Batman's tech cowl as a limited edition as well. So there's a lot going on there, that's for sure. Let's see, what else have we got? I still want to move on, still carrying on with movies. As I say, so much going on. It's very hard to keep up at times, to be fair. But we've even seen concept art from Captain America Civil War, Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, particularly with Bruce Wayne's new Batcave as well. There's been so much going on with that. There's also the talk of comic books tying in with Independence Day as well. They've delayed the Spider-Man animated movie just by a couple of months or so, nothing too big. Kurt Russell is likely to appear in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 as Peter Jason Quill's father. Because I haven't read the comics, I don't know who his father really was, but according to the article that I've read, he's not actually going to play the same character that was in the comics. It's going to be someone else entirely. They're going to rewrite or create a new character for Jason Quill's father. So I don't know how that pertains with the Marvel Universe and everybody who's read the comics, but I think it's interesting that we're going to get Kurt Russell in a comic book movie. If you've seen Big Trouble in Little China, it's just an amazing film. They even did a series of comic books after the film as well. It was only about a year ago, I think, or 2 years ago, that the comic books came out. It was a limited run, I think only about 3 or 4 issues. I did purchase them all, and they were funny. They were absolutely hilarious, and it's literally the second that the film ends is when it carries on. It's amazing, absolutely brilliant. Avatar sequels, and they're going to start filming very soon. They're looking to, let's have a look. They're saying that they're sort of starting filming sometime this year, or is it Christmas, or even next year, even in fact. I'll just read it out to you here. It says it here that James Cameron is, in fact, it says here, shifting its release pattern back to summer 2017. This is basically because Star Wars Episode 8 moved to summer 2017 as opposed to December 2017, and that's because Avatar 2 is set to release on Christmas of 2017. So, you know how we're getting a Star Wars movie every year? Well, this year we're getting Rogue One. Next year will be Episode 8, which is going to be in the summer. And then in 2017... Sorry, no, wait, hang on. What am I thinking? Episode 7 was last year. Rogue One this year. Yeah, 2017, Episode 8. 2018, sorry, is what I was meant to say, will be the Han Solo movie. Then 2019 will be Episode 9, and I think it has now been confirmed that in 2020 will be the Boba Fett solo movie as well. And that's pretty much going to end with that line of films. Who knows what's going to happen after that. So they're due to start filming sometime this year. And then obviously after that, Avatar will then release 2017, and then I think they're going to do all films back to back and then subsequently release them a year apart, as we've seen with other films like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit as well. So that's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. Obviously the Russo brothers, not only are they doing Captain America Civil War, but they're also going to be directing, and it's a huge task they've got for themselves, Infinity War as well, both Infinity War films in particular. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see how that one pans out. Still no news about Gambit, because that's apparently supposed to be released this year as well. Later on, I think October, so a month before Doctor Strange. We've not really heard much about it in terms of filming and such. I don't know if it's already started, it probably has, but it's not been much come out from that department. We have been getting a lot of set photos and videos from the Wonder Woman film. Yes, Wonder Woman has begun filming, Gal Gadot in costume, Chris Pine also as Steve Trevor. It's full steam ahead. I'm just still in shock and awe that we're actually getting a Wonder Woman solo film, so I'm happy about that. So yeah, that's due next year. And then obviously, as I say, you know, it's all happening now. DC and Marvel are really kicking it out. 20th Century Fox, they're kicking it out as well. Sony at the same time. Well, we still don't know what Sony are doing, because we know that Spider-Man is now back with Marvel for the Civil War. He's going to appear in there, and then obviously his solo movie I think is due out next year, or the year after that, or the year after that even. So there's a lot going on with Sony at the moment that we still don't know what's happening. Let's move on to TV, because there's a whole host of stuff happening there, as you already know. Obviously all the shows come back this month. Supergirl actually returns later on tonight with episode 10, I believe. Titled, what's it titled? Is it Blood Bonds, I think? Yes. And so that's going to be an interesting thing. It's quite strange that that's back tonight, and then all the other shows aren't back until like middle of January. So like from when we're talking about from the 18th of January onwards is when all the other shows are going to be back. So and I think Gotham's not even back till about, well, later January, maybe even early February. No, I think it is this month that Gotham is back. But it's just strange that we're going to get Supergirl this week, tonight, later on in the States, and then that's it for 2 weeks, and then it's back, and then all the other shows are back as well. So, but yeah, anyway, I'm happy that we're going to get to see a TV show this week anyway, for me anyway, so I'll be very happy that we're getting a TV show back. Still pleased that we've got Jean Johns, aka Martian Manhunter, on the show. I just could not believe that reveal a couple of episodes back. I was just in absolute stunning awe. I was like, holy fuck. They kept that one really quiet and very, very, very well revealed, to be fair. And eventually we're going to see Martian Manhunter pose as Supergirl, because a certain Cat Grant has now put 2 and 2 together that Kara, Danvers and Supergirl are the same person. So that's going to be interesting to see how that one pans out, because it's also going to be a shock for Kara, because she doesn't know that Hank Henshaw is in fact a Martian and is not really Hank Henshaw. It's a Martian posing as Hank Henshaw, and Alex Danvers is the only one that knows the truth. So yeah, that'll be a shock to the system. So it'll be good to see how that one pans out. Now, Arrow, we saw how that one ended with the mid-season finale. Is Felicity in grave danger? Pun intended, in grave danger. Because she gets shot in the last episode. She does go into hospital. She's in surgery. Apparently she recovers, but there's a danger about it. Again, is she the one that dies? Is she the one that's in the grave? We don't know. Could be. We'll see. So that's going to be interesting. Just heard also now, well, I say now, about half an hour ago, that Robbie Amell is set to return as Ronnie Raymond on The Flash, but with a huge change. He's not going to be the Ronnie Raymond on Earth 1, he's going to be Ronnie Raymond on Earth 2, and instead of Firestorm, he's actually going to be Deathstorm. Good Lord. I'll tell you what, they're really putting out all the stops for all these shows. It's amazing, is what it is. It really is amazing. And it is because that now the TV side of Warner Brothers are now allowed to broaden their horizons in terms of what characters they can use, how far they can take their stories, what effects they can use, what powers can they use. That's why we now have supernatural stuff happening on Arrow. You've got the whole parallel universe stuff on The Flash. We're getting DC Legends of Tomorrow, which is about a couple of weeks away. And it's just amazing to see all that happening. You've got Gotham as well, pulling out all the stops of all the villains as well. Supergirl, as I've already mentioned, is doing its own thing as well. Hopefully we'll get a crossover with the Flash and Arrow as well at some point. I really hope we do. Imagine all three of those together. That would be epic. And also, obviously, with DC Legends of Tomorrow, there's no reason why they can't cross over with Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl at some point in the future. Oh my God. Epic crisis is coming, is all I can say. On the Marvel side of things, also, Agent Carter is back this month, and then Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2 will continue after that, which will be in February. So Season 2 of Agent Carter kicks off this month. Looking forward to see how Peggy continues her adventures and stuff as well. I've watched Jessica Jones the whole season. I didn't binge watch it. Did it, sporadically, one episode a week essentially, or something like that, and it was good. It wasn't on the same level as Daredevil, but it was still good. There was still the acknowledgement about the Avengers. The only downside to that was when you saw the skyline of New York, there was no sign of the Avengers Tower, which I thought was kind of like, well, if it's supposed to be in the same universe, yet it still had its own setting, essentially, why couldn't we see the Avengers Tower? If they acknowledged the fact that, the Hulk was there, Iron Man's there, Thor are there, they acknowledged all of that, but there was no sighting of the Avengers Tower. Well, hopefully in Season 2 that will change, and who knows what will happen. What I will say is David Tennant is a scary motherfucker. As Kilgrave, he is a scary mofo. Very scary. Good to see Luke Cage as well for the first time. His show is set to debut also later on this year. There's already been a few photos released on that. And speaking of photos being released, Daredevil Season 2. We've seen some new photos, including that of the Punisher as well and Elektra. So it's all picking up, people. It really is picking up. It's going to be interesting to see how this all gets out for the Defenders as well, because not only are we getting Daredevil, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, Iron Fist is still set to appear. Once Iron Fist has appeared, then they're going to do the Defenders. It's going to be some massive hoo-ha going on. And I wonder if they're lining up the Defenders with Infinity War along with the Avengers. I don't know. I don't think that's the case. But it wouldn't be a bad thing either if they did that, because Infinity War is going to be huge. It's going to be massive, is what it's going to be. So it would make sense to pour over the Infinity War storyline to the likes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and, the Defenders as well at some point. Just to see the ramifications and the effects that will have on those TV shows. How will it affect people like Coulson, Daisy, all of them characters, Jessica, Luke. and Matt Murdock as well. How will the Infinity War affect these smaller characters? Because in some ways it will affect them, and should that be brought on to those shows, it'll be interesting to see how that happens. So who knows? Who knows? What else? I don't think there's anything else now. I think I've pretty much said everything. I might have missed out a couple of things, but it's because there's just so much to talk about. It's just ridiculous at times. What am I excited about for 2016? Well, you obviously know what I'm excited about. None other than Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and also Suicide Squad as well. I mean, they for me are the biggest two that I'm really looking forward to. I'm probably looking forward more to Suicide Squad than I am to Batman v Superman, purely because that I still can't believe that it's happening, that we're getting Suicide Squad, that it is actually going to be released in August 2016. It's crazy. That's what it is. Anyway, yeah. For those of you who took part in the Star Wars competition that I did last month, I've posted your prizes today. So over the next week or so, you'll start receiving all your goods. I hope you like them. They're not anything too big, but they're worthwhile, is all I can say. So that'll be good. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You know, that's pretty much it. So, yeah. Thank you all very much for watching. It's been great, and I hope you all have a great 2016, whatever you've got planned. And here's to Deadpool next month, and then Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice after that. And then it's pretty much a just huge steamrolling all the way through the year for all the other films. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Thank you all very much, everybody. See you very soon. Bye.